Dear soul, pause for a moment and allow your heart to become still. The angels are very close to you right now, and they are gently touching your energy to help you see something important. They are showing you that last night, something sacred happened. Your soulmate may have written you a letter, not just an ordinary letter, but one that carries the weight of truth, love, and honesty they have been holding inside for a long time. This letter was not written quickly or casually. It came from a place of deep thought, sleepless nights, and quiet reflection. It is the result of many moments when they wanted to speak but couldn't. Moments when they longed to tell you what was in their heart, but held back out of fear or uncertainty. The angels want you to understand that what was poured into that letter was not a momentary impulse. It was the result of courage. It was your soulmate finally stepping out from behind their own walls, taking off the mask they've worn for so long, and allowing their higher self to speak directly to you. In this letter, they have stripped away illusions and shared their bare truth. They have allowed their trembling hands to write what their lips could not say. It is not wrapped in beautiful poetry or grand promises. Instead, it is filled with raw honesty, the kind of honesty that comes when someone can no longer keep their feelings hidden. The angels are showing you how much strength it took for your soulmate to write this. This is a person who values control. They like to weigh and measure every word. They rarely speak unless they are certain of what to say. And yet, in this letter, they broke their own rules. They chose truth over perfection. They wrote not to impress you, but to release themselves from the heavy burden of silence. It is their way of saying to you, I see you. I hear you. I want to be closer to you. I want to meet you where you are. Even if the letter contains confessions about times they pushed you away, moments when they stayed silent instead of speaking up, or times they acted distant when you were being warm, between every line there is a deep respect for you, a gratitude for the patience you've shown them, and the light you shared. Your soulmate is realizing that love is not about control, pride, or always being right. It is about showing up even when you're scared. And that is what they did last night. Even if it was just in a letter, that was their first true step towards you. The angels are whispering that you must not mistake their past restraint for a lack of emotion. They have felt so deeply for you that it overwhelmed them. Instead of drowning in those feelings, they built walls to contain them, thinking it would protect them from heartbreak. But those same walls created distance between you. This letter is their attempt to break through that self-made prison. It is their way of saying, I'm trying to come closer. I'm trying to be free. The angels want you to see that even if you never hold this letter in your hands, even if it is never sent, the act of writing it changed them. Something inside them softened. Something inside them shifted. It built a bridge between the person they show to the world and the soul they hide within. And through that bridge, they are slowly walking back toward you. The angels are asking you to hold space in your heart for this growth. Don't rush it. Don't demand perfection. Instead, feel the energy behind their words, the trembling hope that you might still be there, waiting, forgiving, and loving them through their transformation. You are their guiding star. Even when they have wandered off the path, they are now beginning to trace your light again. This message, though restrained and carefully written, is their way of asking you not to give up on them. They may not have begged for forgiveness, but they are silently asking for a second chance, not just in your life, but in your heart. And the angels say that deep within you, you already sense this. You have felt their pull. You've caught the quiet pain behind their eyes. And now this letter brings it all to the surface. The angels are holding you close, surrounding you with a calm, Steady love as you process what this means. There is no urgency, no pressure, only the gentle unfolding of two hearts finally starting to speak the same language. Let yourself receive this truth with grace. Let yourself be wrapped in the awareness that even when love feels silent, it is still alive. Even when a person seems distant, their soul may be calling out to you in ways they don't yet understand. The angels want you to know that you are being prepared for a love that is not just passionate, but conscious. A love that sees you clearly and honors your light, not with grand gestures, but with quiet, intentional truth. And in the stillness of that letter written last night, your soulmate took their first real step toward becoming the partner you've always deserved. The angels show you that this letter was born not only from love, but also from struggle. Your soulmate has been battling their own inner shadows for a long time. On the outside, they may appear calm or composed, but their inner world has been crying for healing. The letter they wrote was their first honest confession about the grip those shadows have on them. They may have written about jealousy, fears of losing control, or habits they use to numb pain. But beneath every dark confession, there is a hidden plea, a longing to be understood, not judged, a longing to be loved even in their most flawed, unpolished form. They didn't write that letter to justify their distance or their mistakes. They wrote it to tell you that the love they feel for you is real, even if they haven't always known how to show it in healthy ways. The angels want you to feel the gravity of that moment. Imagine someone trembling as they write, not because they fear your anger, but because they fear they have damaged something sacred and may not get another chance to make it right. That letter was soaked in fear, but also in hope. Hope that you might still hold space for them. Hope that even if they have been trapped in patterns that pushed you away, there is still a corner of your heart where they are welcome, where healing can begin. This was not a typical love letter. It wasn't full of poetic promises or beautiful metaphors. It was raw, heavy, and perhaps even chaotic, but it was true. It came from the depths of a soul yearning to heal. In between the dark confessions were sparks of light, memories of you that haunt them in the best way, dreams of a future they want but don't feel worthy of, glimpses of the peace they believe only your presence can bring. They may have written about how your energy calms the storms inside them, how your love is the one force they believe might be strong enough to help them break free from the chains around their heart. You are not just someone they desire. You are their mirror, their challenge, their awakening. And now they are beginning to see that the pain they've caused wasn't because they didn't care. It was because they were lost. And in writing to you, they finally admitted they don't want to stay lost anymore. The angels are asking you now to read this message with compassion, not as an excuse for any hurt you've endured, but as a light to understand that this soul is beginning to wake up. They are not asking you to fix them. They are not asking you to wait forever. But in that letter, they are asking for one thing only: that you see the truth, that you see how deep this connection runs, that you understand how much strength it took to look at their own reflection and not turn away. Their shadow has danced with your light, and it has frightened them, because deep down they feel they don't deserve the purity you offer. But maybe, just maybe, they are beginning to believe they could become someone who does. You are not meant to carry their pain. You are meant to witness this sacred transformation. The angels want you to hold your own heart tenderly as you feel the weight of their words. Let your intuition guide you. Let your love be fierce, but let your boundaries be stronger. Know that love born in the shadow must choose to walk into the light, and that choice belongs to them alone. But in the act of writing that letter, something inside them shifted. They reached for you not just with longing, but with humility. They finally admitted they are not okay. And in doing so, they took the first step toward becoming someone who could truly love you, not with chains or control, but with freedom and truth. Take a breath now and let your soul absorb what the angels are showing you. You are being given a glimpse not just of someone's pain, but of their potential. You are seeing the moment where healing begins, where masks fall, where the soul finally speaks. And though it may hurt to read their struggle, it is also beautiful because it means they are finally facing it. That letter wasn't meant to manipulate your heart. It was meant to reveal their own. And in that revelation, they have gifted you not only their truth, but also the doorway to transformation for both of you. Hold this with care. Let your spirit lead. Remember, child, you are not here to carry their darkness, but to shine so brightly that they remember their own light. The angels are with you. They see you. They protect you. And they are guiding you through this with a love that never fails. This is not the end of a story. This is the beginning of something softer, deeper, and more aligned with your soul's highest truth. Let your heart absorb this message without rushing to respond. Let your spirit rest in the knowing that love has not been lost or forgotten. It has only been waiting for the right moment to bloom again. This letter may never be handed to you directly, but the energy of it is already around you. You may feel a sudden warmth in your chest, a wave of emotion without a clear cause, or the quiet inner voice whispering that they are thinking of you. That's because they are. Their heart has found its voice, and it is calling to yours with honesty and devotion. The angels are walking beside you both now, guiding you into this new chapter with compassion and grace. And as you open your heart to what was written in that sacred letter, remember, dear child, that you are worthy of love that flows freely, that heals rather than harms, that lifts rather than drains. You are worthy of love that comes not in fragments, but in wholeness. And that is what your soulmate has just begun to offer. Allow the tears to come if they must. Let your body feel the ache, the relief, the beauty of this revelation. Because what the angels want you to know most of all is that love is here. Not perfect, not polished, but real. And in the purity of that love, you are being held, blessed, and chosen all over again. You have waited for a sign, for confirmation that your faith in this connection was not in vain. And now, through this letter born of the deepest chambers of your soulmate's heart, that sign has arrived. Receive it, dear child, with open arms and an even more open heart, for the journey ahead is one of renewal, deep emotional communion, and the kind of love that only the divine can orchestrate. Dear child, the angels come close to you again, wrapping their soft wings around your heart. They know you have been carrying deep questions about the letter your soulmate wrote, the emotions hidden inside it, and what it all means for you now. They bring you this message so you can see clearly, not through fear, but through light. That letter was not just paper and ink. It was a doorway between two hearts. It was the kind of message that comes when someone's soul cannot stay silent any longer. The angels want you to understand that what your soulmate wrote was not just words. It was a spiritual confession, a love offering, and a turning point all at once. For so long, your soulmate has walked a path where their heart and their spirit were not fully in step. They have loved you quietly, even when life pulled them far away. They have carried your memory through nights of confusion, through moments when they doubted themselves, through times when they were afraid to face what they truly felt. But last night, something shifted inside them. The angels whispered into their heart and helped them pour out their truth. Even if it came trembling, even if it came wrapped in both joy and sorrow. This is what you felt in the energy of that letter. The angels show that your soulmate's letter holds three truths at once. The first truth is about love. This love has never been casual. It has never been just a passing attraction or a fleeting memory. It has been sacred from the very beginning, even in the times when neither of you could fully see it. The second truth is about struggle. Your soulmate has been walking with heavy burdens, old wounds, fears, and patterns they did not know how to heal. These have kept them from being able to fully show up for you, even when their heart longed to. The third truth is about awakening. Something inside them is beginning to understand now. They are realizing that love is not just a feeling. It is a choice, an action, a quiet devotion that shows itself in honesty, care, and consistency. This is why the letter feels both like a confession and a beginning. It is not an ending, dear child. It is a moment of clarity, a release of what has been unspoken, and an invitation to step into a new chapter, one built not on illusions, but on truth. Your soulmate has reached a point where they can no longer pretend that your connection was ordinary. They are seeing now that no matter how far they've wandered, no other bond feels like the one they share with you. They are beginning to remember not only who you are, but who they are when they are with you. The version of themselves that feels alive, open, and whole. The angels remind you that this letter carries both love and humility. Your soulmate may have spoken of the pain they caused, the times they pulled away when they should have leaned in, and the fears that led them to run. But in doing so, they are also showing you how much they have grown. This is not just an apology. It is a soul-level recognition. It is their way of saying, I see you. I remember you. I choose you, even if I still have work to do. And dear one, you must understand something very important. Sometimes love requires space for healing. Sometimes two souls must walk apart for a time, not because the love has faded, but because each person must meet themselves before they can fully meet the other. This is part of what your soulmate was expressing. They may have written about their dreams of you, their memories of your laughter, their gratitude for the sanctuary they found in your presence. But they also admitted the truth that even in your light, they were lost in their own darkness. This was never your fault. It is simply the journey of a soul learning to heal. The angels say that the letter was not a rejection of you, but a moment of self-honesty for them. It was their way of saying, I love you, but I must learn to stand whole before I can hold you the way you deserve. This may feel like a goodbye on the surface, but underneath it is an act of soul preservation. They are not turning their back on you. They are turning toward their own healing, because they finally understand that true love cannot blossom in soil filled with fear, guilt, or emotional neglect, neither for you nor for themselves. And yet, the angels also show another layer to this message. The letter was not only about pain, it was also about joy remembered. As they wrote, your soulmate began to recall the light you once shared, the laughter, the ease, the simple moments that made them feel alive. They remembered the way you celebrated their victories, the way you held space for their tears without judgment, the way you saw them not as who they pretended to be, but as who they really are. These memories rose up like a song they had kept quiet for too long, and in writing, they allowed the melody to be heard again. This is why the energy of the letter feels like both a confession and a love song. Your soulmate is realizing that the happiness they felt with you was not ordinary. It was sacred. It was rare. And it still matters. They are beginning to see that the kind of joy you brought into their life is not something they can find just anywhere. It was a blessing, a gift, a mirror of something greater. This is the awakening the angels want you to see. It is not just about reunion. It is about remembrance. It is about a heart that has been asleep for too long, finally waking up to what it truly wants. The angels tell you to hold this message not with despair, but with grace. Let yourself grieve if you need to. Let yourself cry, but also let yourself be proud. Your love has been powerful enough to awaken a soul. Your presence cracked open their numbness and showed them that staying the same is no longer an option. Even in their leaving, they are being transformed. And so are you. You are not left behind. Dear child, you are being protected. For love that returns after walking through fire is love that has been forged in truth. It is love that will not falter at the first storm. It is love that chooses not from longing, but from clarity. This is the kind of love the angels are guiding you toward. Not a love of fear, but a love of freedom. Your soulmate's letter may not have been handed to you directly, and you may never read every word, but the intention behind it is already alive in the air around you. They are beginning to choose happiness again, and in doing so, they are choosing the possibility of you. They are remembering the version of themselves who could laugh without fear, dream without limitation, and love without shame. They are beginning to understand that love doesn't have to be complicated to be real. The angels gently guide your heart into what comes next, not in fear or uncertainty, but in the quiet awareness that something sacred has been reawakened. That letter, however quietly written, has stirred within your soulmate the memory of what it felt like to be truly alive with you. And now that they've tasted that emotion again, something inside them has shifted. They are no longer content to live disconnected from their heart, from the truth of their emotions, from the part of themselves that only blooms when you are near. This is more than just a recollection. It is a spiritual invitation, a subtle but powerful desire to reconnect not just with you, but with the part of their soul that only rises when love is celebrated freely, without shame or fear. They are beginning to imagine what life could look like if joy once again became the foundation, not the afterthought. They are beginning to believe that love doesn't have to be dramatic to be sacred. It can be simple. It can be steady. It can be true. Perhaps they wrote of wanting to talk again, to sit with you in a quiet moment and share a piece of life. Perhaps they wrote of how people around them remind them of you, or how even in the company of others their soul feels a silent emptiness that only your presence seems to fill. This is not loneliness. This is soul recognition. This is coming home. You have lived in their heart all along, even when they did not know how to honor that truth. The angels are showing you that you do not need to rush to decide anything now. You are simply being invited to receive, to listen, and to trust what your own soul already knows. Love like this does not fade. It transforms. And now it is transforming you both. Let your heart be open, dear child, for love is walking toward you again, clear-eyed, soft-hearted, and finally ready. The angels close their message by reminding you of your strength. You are not only loved, you are recognized, valued, and chosen in a way that very few souls ever experience. You are not crazy for feeling the bond between you. You are not naive for believing it still lives. That letter was proof that the connection is alive, that your soulmate has finally heard the call of your spirit and is awakening to the truth they once denied. Trust this process, dear one. Trust that what is real will always find its way. Trust that the soul who wrote that letter last night is already being pulled back to love, to light, and in time, perhaps, to you. You are not alone in this ache. The angels are wrapping you in their wings now, soothing your heart with their divine tenderness. You are being held, guided, and deeply loved. And so is the one who wrote to you in silence under the moonlight with trembling hands and a soul that still remembers your name.